anonymous, confidential, free of charge, and open 7 days a week. Connect today at mentalhealthmn.org or call 855-HERE-FOR-MN today. Sponsored by Mental Health Minnesota, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Why must the world be so cold? They've gone against what was told. Thinking rape is cool, think about it. They think it's not wrong, violence against women, the rape, the abuse, the emotional, physical. They all hold the hate, think about it. Is it right or wrong? What attracts you? I'm not saying no names, but you laugh. Talk about it like nothing is wrong. Think about it. They all hold the hate. Gotta stop the violence. Stop the hate, think about it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 36, then Thursday cloudy with a high of 49. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me on this Wednesday evening. And I also want to welcome back Adam to the studio after having some time away from us. And hopefully that refreshed you, Adam.
I am quite refreshed, especially after spending 3-4 days in Miami, then coming back here to the 1-2 cold days we had in the entire month of February.
Right. No,
that was my perfect timing as always.
As usual. Well done. And for those, a little bit of a preview, we're going to be talking more about Adam's vacation on Friday. So, if hopefully people can sleep knowing that this is coming up.
Oh, they should be waiting on pins and needles for this because
Absolutely.
It's epic.
It's epic. It actually, I think I am really excited to talk about it because it's a pretty incredible trip that you all had. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more on Friday. But I wanted, first of all, to thank everybody who came out to Ghost Stories and Beyond tonight at Billy's in Anoka. That includes you, Adam, and your family. That was really nice to see you all out there tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun event tonight, too. During the spirit box in a room with that many people was very cool. I enjoyed that immensely.
I was shocked by how many people showed up tonight. I really was grateful, by the way, but shocked.
You shouldn't be. The spirit box session, as soon as that one went out on social media, I'm honestly shocked you didn't have more folks because a lot of folks, they've seen it on TV or they've seen you do it on Facebook. But yes, you're doing it live on Facebook. That's going to leave a lot of questions for those who are just sitting at home watching it. Going and being able to see you do it with everything you had set up. You had the Ovilus, you had the REM pods out, you had the flashlight out, you had the bell out, and you used 2 different spirit boxes.
I used 4 different spirit boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Which you didn't realize. I was using them as like EMF pumps in a sense that they were.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I was back in the corner. I didn't see you had them all rolling.
What you may not have seen also is the bell move tonight.
I heard from somebody's like, yeah, it was kind of moving, and I wasn't sure if they had bumped it or not, but that is cool.
They said it moved. I did not see it myself, but and the thing is like they're like, oh yeah, we saw it moved. We thought it was really interesting. Like, why didn't you say something? You know, I would have
Come
been
on,
like,
guys.
I'm like, hey, it's moving. You know, I would have made a production number on there. Like, yeah, you know, we saw it move. We thought that was really interesting. Is when somebody's name came through and I got that name at the same time. It's like, you're going to keep it to yourself? Is that what's going to happen here?
Well, it's
I
like
mean,
the REM pod goes off on our table, and all of a sudden we're like anybody near it, and somebody at the table's like, my phone's on airplane mode, and you still got to get close to it. It's like, okay, that wasn't any of us.
yeah, no, it was really, I mean, you know, I always want more activity than what we got, but we actually did pretty well tonight, I thought.
The Alvin that came through a couple times, Al or Alvin, that was strong.
It was very strong. It was very good. And then when Shar took the box from when she took the box from table to table, that was pretty incredible as well.
There was a couple things I heard that I thought were coming through, but I couldn't tell if that was just radio interference or if there was a couple of low voices in there.
There was somebody that came through that did not sound came from the box when Shar was over by your table.
Yeah. And I wasn't 100% sure if that was Box or one of the other people in the room or what.
I don't think it was one of the other people in the room. It was it sounded very different. It sounded like they were on the phone, actually.
It did, yeah. Like they were on the other end of the phone and you're listening to
like on speakerphone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. And it was like, wow. And we had like REM pod action tonight. We had spirit box action. It was really cool. And it was, in considering the fact that we had 36 people in the room, and you know, at some time people are bringing food because that's what you have to do. You're in a restaurant, and the service at Billy's is excellent.
Yes.
And but I mean, we kind of would stop so that people can get their food and stuff. But boy, that was pretty incredible. And I'd like to do something like that again, but maybe bring some different spirit boxes and stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You've only got like 43 of them.
I have someone nearly fell off the chair when they're just like, how many spirit boxes do you have? I'm like, what do you think? And they said like 40. I'm like, yeah. And they're just like, what? I'm like, well, I kind of like it. What can I say? You know, I'm kind of all about it. So
kind of a bit of a nerd with it, and it's very respectable.
It is. I mean, it's either that or doing crack on the streets. You know, you tell me what you want me to do. You know, that's just kind
of you know, you ain't no Tyrone Biggins, so I think go ahead and stick to the spirit boxing.
Brad says that there is nothing like a live spirit box session with Greg. Brad is one of the few people that we had actually done it with, trying to reach out to Bigfoot as it happens. So that was pretty cool. Lisa asked, do you record the video, record those sessions? We audio record them. And that's just so that we can pull out, because like tonight we're going to play some recordings from past spirit box sessions, and you can't just have the whole thing play here because it's annoying.
Yeah,
the spirit box can be annoying. It's white noise.
But and also if you're driving and listening to it, you really don't want the spirit box going because it can be hypnotic.
Yeah. I actually thought for a minute that Shar like the spirit box had her, because she was just like staring at it. It was at a certain frequency, a certain sweep, and I thought, spirit box has her now.
And I've got two at home now. I've got the one that I've been using from you for about a year, and then the one my wife bought me.
Yep, the one I don't think I'll ever see again. Yep, okay.
Probably not. I actually kind of like that one too. So I will actually, I've tried them both, like just sitting in my room by myself, and to me, I can't do it by myself. I start falling into like almost a hypnotic trance just with the white noise, and I gotta shake myself out like, no, you got to stay focused.
Yeah. Now Brad says that he swears by necrophonics. Now necrophonics is a different type of ITC sort of the same sort of concept of using, but that's more of an echo sort of system to bring through spirit activity. That's a app. That's a web app, or not a web app, but an app that you can get. And I hear a lot of people get a lot of good stuff from it. I'm not the biggest fan myself, but that's the whole thing. We all have different things. We all like our own way of doing it. And that's what you have to do, is kind of figure out. I'll tell you what I forgot to do though, Adam. I didn't have dinner.
You didn't eat the entire time there?
I have not eaten since early this afternoon. So I'm thinking of going, and we haven't brought this place up in a long time. I'm thinking of going to Quick Trip and getting some chips and cheese and making some, I mean, can you call that nachos if it's just chips and cheese? But it's still one of those things that food sounds really good right now, and maybe at some point I'll have it. I have food here. I should eat some food here, but I'm like, why not just like leave my house for no good reason and go to Quick Trip?
Well, the Shroom and Swiss at Billy's was excellent on ride tonight.
I'll tell you, they make great food over there, and not to turn this into a commercial, but when we do ghost stories, it's first Wednesday of every month at Billy's, and hamburgers are half price on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays at Billy's, so definitely worth checking out and stuff. But boy, yeah, that was a lot of fun tonight. That was really cool to see everyone out there. Met a lot of people. In fact, people who listened to our show were out there tonight as well.
Yeah, that was nice. It's like how many people heard about this on the show, and there was a bunch of hands raised like, ooh, nice listeners.
Absolutely.
Now I got to be on my best behavior. No beer.
Yeah, and well, you're right. And your wife is just like, it's poor man's nachos. And that's exactly it. That's like, really. And and it is what it is, right? And if they have avocados there, I might go and I might get like a ripe avocado and then just smush it up and put it on there. Well, it's amazing all the difference in the world that makes. Are you a guacamole fan?
Actually, I am. I'm very much a guac fan.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night's for dinner actually has guac in it for me. They're doing what we call guac bombs. So you take a chicken breast and you stuff some guacamole in there, and then you wrap that in bacon and you bake it.
Now, I've done similar with that, not with guac though. That's very interesting. I've done it with pepper jack cheese. That's what I stuff in the in the chicken breast, and then I wrap it in bacon, and then I'll grill it.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll cover it with a barbecue sauce. And that's what I do there. Now, people are just like, is this what the show is tonight? Two guys talking about food because one of them didn't eat because he's not an adult enough to figure out his own schedule while eating. Jeez.
No, it's not. Tonight's actually going to be a sleep with the lights on night.
It should be. Well, and just so you know, just maybe to kind of put nightmarish thoughts in your mind, tomorrow for the replay, we are doing we're having the replay of Anna Maria Manalo with the Night Visitants book.
You really don't want me to sleep at all, do you?
Well, you don't have to listen to. I mean, you lived through the episode.
I lived through that one, yeah.
That was pretty incredible.
That one was so freaky, but so good.
Yeah, it is. And she's going to be back on, I think, in May. But what the next book that she's writing on requires, it was about a medium who ended up getting some demonic influence in her. That's putting it lightly. The medium is going to be on in April. So it's going to be, we're going to have some interesting programs coming up here. Now, as the show tonight, the way I wanted to do it tonight is, since we did the Spirit Box stuff at Billy's for Ghost Stories, I wanted to play some of the recordings that I have accumulated over the years from my own Spirit Box sessions. And the truth about this is that you might listen to some of the stuff we're going to play, which I believe are spirit recordings. And I'm going to say what they are, because we don't have all day for everyone to be like, well, I think it says this or whatever. I'm going to say what I believe it is. Now, you might listen to it. Adam might listen to it. You all might listen to it and be like, what are you talking about? It sounds nothing like what you said. It's also to be fully transparent. When you tell somebody up front what you think is being said or what you think it is, it does put something in someone's mind of like, oh, well, I heard it because that's what you said. So I'm not trying to force what I believe on people, but what I am trying to do is get through these so you can have an idea of what some of these really good, what I believe really good recordings sound like, if that makes sense. So I want to do one before we head off to our first break here. And so real fast, I was, and if we end up going a little bit later in the break, that's fine. But I just, because this is kind of a little bit of a setup, and the setup here is that when I started, and Adam, this was a story I was trying to tell at Ghost Stories tonight, and Shar actually cut me off. She's like, "Can we start now?" So, regardless, what happened was when I got into all of this, it was a spirit box on Ghost Adventures of all programs that I was like, if this really works the way that they're showing it, I'm in. I'm all into this whole paranormal thing. This was centuries ago. And I worked at Carmichael Lynch, which was a big advertising agency in downtown Minneapolis. They were at the Wyman building, which was built in 1916. And a friend of mine that worked there, he would live in Texas, and he would come up to Minnesota every couple months. And he was also very big into this stuff as well. So I'm like, next time you come up, I'm going to buy a spirit box. So I go to this this mystical place for paranormal equipment called Amazon, because I didn't know about anywhere else you can get this stuff. I get a box, and it's a little radio that when you scan through it, it doesn't stop at stations, and you can switch the sweep rate, so it could go faster or slower. And the belief is that when you do this, that spirits will talk to you because they're taking the energy from the radio signals. And it's like, well, if that works and you can understand it, I'm in. So we get this box. He comes down he comes up from Texas, I guess. And we get a camera set up, and we do all this stuff, and we bring down the spirit box, and it starts going. And the first question I asked is, can we get a name, please? And we get Nate. That's the first name. I'm like, oh, okay. Wow. Okay, this is neat. Can we get a last name? And it was Lund, a voice, Lund. I'm like, well, this is pretty neat. And then it was like, can we get what's your birthday? And some number came out. It wasn't necessarily a birthday. And we're like, does anyone else want to talk to us? And this female comes through, and she goes, hello. And it's like, this is amazing. We've never touched this stuff in our lives. And here we go. So we go upstairs, which there is a room that's people don't like this room. And so I have the spirit box going, and I said, my name is Greg. This is Jeff. Can you say our names, please? And this is what we got.
Great. Jeff.
I'm going to play it again.
Great. Jeff.
One more time.
Great. Jeff.
Greg, Jeff.
That's the same voice.
It's the same voice. And what Adam is talking about here is because it's sweeping through the frequencies of the FM dial so quickly, it is not possible to be the same, not only be the same voice, but also have a whole word. And we had 2 words, 2 names, and what we call an intelligent response. And that is pretty cool. If you like this, we got a lot more. Let's go ahead, get our break in right now. When we come back, Adam and I are going to go through some more Spirit Box recordings. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Magus Books, your multicultural spiritual supply store. Stop in and expand your horizons with books, classes, readings, and supplies at magusbooks.com or in our shop at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis. From the best incense to beautiful statues, we have supplies and books for your spiritual explorations. Come in and chat with our knowledgeable staff and get what you need for your next adventure, whether you're fighting ghosts or opening your third eye. Check us out today at magusbooks.com.
Twin Cities Pagan Pride is thrilled to host Pagonicon 2024, March 15th through the 17th at the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West Hotel. Come to Pagonicon to experience deep community where people gather to learn, socialize, and get inspired. Check out all our featured guests and list of activities at tcpaganpride.org and register now for this incredible conference. Pagonicon is a pagan conference offering workshops, panels, discussions, social space, music, a ball, vendors, and much more. Pagonicon is an educational and social venue for pagans, Wiccans, heathens, druids, people of other folk, craft, indigenous, and magical traditions. Pagonicon has a vendor room and third offering art gallery, which are both open to the public all weekend. Pagonicon is a safe place, not only to be yourself, but to meet other like-minded individuals. Register now. Check out Pagonicon's full weekend, day only, and special event rates. Go to tcpaganpride.org and click on Pagonicon to register and get more details.
And there is a lot of great things happening this weekend, and there are great things happening at Magus Books as well. March 9th is Chaos Magic 101. Starting at 1 p.m., this class will cover the history of chaos magic as a movement, as well as its core philosophy. Students will leave with an understanding of how to immediately use the principles of chaos magic, as well as how to make their own sigils. And then on Sunday, March 10th, looking for fun new ways to explore tarot, Nancy Annanucci is hosting a tarot sandbox lab at Magus Books in Minneapolis. This free experimental, I always say it wrong, it's experiential. This free experiential class offers playful exercises to help you deepen your understanding of tarot imagery. Be sure to pre-register for both at magusbooks.com, and also go there to see everything else that's going on. Magus Books is located on Central Avenue. Check it out at magusbooks.com. And then also get ready for a hauntingly good time at March Macabre Meadery Market. Join us on March 9th at the White Bear Meadery for a spine-chilling experience filled with themed jewelry, original artwork, and so much more. Dive into the dark side of delight at the March Macabre Meadery Market. Mark your calendars and join us for an unforgettable day. Visit Crunchy Soap and Home on Facebook for more details. And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. We are listening to some Spirit Box recordings. I've been inspired by the fact that we did this at Ghost Stories tonight, and it was a lot of fun. And we have some really cool recordings, I think. Some are better than others. Some may not translate very well over the air. So I do apologize if it all just kind of comes across as garbled white noise. But we played some of these before. Some of these might be familiar to some of you at all. Earlier, I got a question from Kyle, just like, would we ever do a live Spirit Box session on the air? And I just don't think that would translate all that well, because it is a very, the white noise is very sort of pulsating and kind of, I don't know, for some, it's really annoying. Adam, what would you say? What would you say about the sound of that?
For some, I do think the Spirit Box would be very abrasive to their ears.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, when folks see it on TV, yeah, for a lot of the shows that it's on, like you had mentioned Ghost Adventures, they used it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very loud. But when you're actually in the room with it and you've got the speaker, it isn't nearly as abrasive as it is when it's just coming straight out of the Spirit Box.
Well, and so Suzanne Worthley was at our Ghost Stories tonight. You might remember Suzanne from being a guest on our show on Monday, talking about world energy. And she was there, and she's just like, I came out here just to kind of, support you all and stuff. But she's like, I just hate the sound of this thing. And it's like, nope, I get it. But I appreciate her out there. And she was one of the people that saw this wonderful bell move tonight, which, people are like, what's the big deal of a bell moving? It's energy moving something. And that was really cool. I wish I would have been able to see it myself, but we've also seen it during my live Spirit Box sessions on Facebook. So I don't know. It's really pretty cool. Now, let's see here. Where do I start? First of all, and we played this one before. It's not Spirit Box, okay? But this is at the Mounds Theater when back a couple years back, when we were getting people ready for the event we had there. There's this it's an EVP of a little girl, which we know that there's a spirit of a little girl there, and she's singing a song in the background. There is no children. There's no children at this event. This is and this isn't my recording. This was at one of my events, but a woman named Nicole got this recording, and to me, this is wonderful. You got to listen a little bit, but it's well worth it. Here it is.
Jim, did you enjoy your job here? Thank you for your service, by the way.
Now, Adam, did you hear that?
I heard it. What it sounded like, it almost sounded like the rhythm of "If You're Happy and You Know It."
That's exactly what it is. She actually sings it out. She's like, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Granted, I have an advantage over some of our listeners. I am wearing nice studio headphones. Well, but yeah, I could have swore it was like, if you're happy and you know it.
It's totally, that's exactly what it is.
That's what I thought I heard, yeah.
And then John asks, are you happy to be here? And she's just like, no. Danielle says that's what she heard as well. So that's good. That's good to know. Because it's hard sometimes, like, I don't know if people are picking up the stuff that, we're laying down here, but let's go to the Morris Jamel Mansion. Okay. Have you heard of this place, Adam?
I've heard you talk about it.
Okay.
But I had never heard of it prior to you.
So the Morris Jamel Mansion in New York City was at one point the headquarters for General Washington for 3 months. And after the American Revolution and you get into the 1800s, it is taken over by a woman. Eliza Jamel is her name. She was actually married to Alexander Hamilton. And she at one point was the richest woman in the country. She died of old age there. And if you see a painting of her, which there is one there, she is she's not taking anyone's crap. Let's put it that way. She is really not in the mood for your crap, Adam, and or mine for that as it happens. And so I don't know how well this will translate because it's pretty quick. We'll play this a couple times. I'm down in the basement of this place, and I am doing a spirit box session. I got permission to do some stuff. I said if I said to them, if no one's around in the room, is it okay if I do a spirit box session? And they're just like, hey, come with us. And they started taking us to different rooms and stuff. It was really cool. And so we did this thing where I went and I started asking questions, and what you're going to hear is this older woman and very bitter and very upset that I'm there. And it's going to play 3 times. I don't know if StreamYard really plays it all that well, but we're going to see how it works 3 times. And I'm going to play the file a couple times. So you're going to hear it multiple times. And she's just like, stop it. That's what she says. It's fantastic. So here, take a listen to this. Does it sound like it, Adam?
Oh yeah, you hear the stop it. Stop it.
And if it's radio just going through the frequencies, you're not going to get that clipping that she has.
No, you're not. You're just going to get the. That's all you're going to get.
She is just absolutely. So I'm going to play it again for you all. Now,
there's some authority to that.
Yeah, like I said, she's not taking our crap whatsoever. No. And I didn't hear that at the time. I heard that when I came back and listened to the recordings, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's just like, if I heard that at the time, I that might have riled me up a little bit, might have got me a little frightened, because that's pretty ridiculous. I want to see. Okay, so the next one at Morris Jamel, my friend Robert came with. Robert was at Ghost Stories as well tonight, and Robert was affected at that house, at the Morris Jamel house. He just kind of was out of it and stuff, and I don't know. I think the house had a problem with him. Someone there had a problem with him. When I went through the recordings the first, I was listening and I hear Robert's name from the spirit box. It said Robert. And I'm just like, well, that's interesting. And so I back it up and re-listen again, and I hear home Robert. And I back it up a little bit more, and it's like a whole sentence, just another word, which makes a big difference. See if it plays all right on here. But this is the recording. I'm gonna play it again. Did you get that, Adam?
Yeah, go home, Robert. Again, though, same voice.
Same voice.
Each one of those words.
And the recording's not edited, obviously. It is just that sort of like space in between. How many stations are we going through on the spirit box to be able to get those pauses in as well? It's just incredible.
Yeah. And, depending on if you're using AM or FM too, because like you're in New York, you said with this.
Yes.
Many more FM frequencies in New York than in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. It
was
was
the fact that you get go home Robert, but it being the same voice, you haven't hit that same frequency.
No, absolutely. It was such an incredible recording. Just really wonderful. Just, oh my gosh. I just love it. Let's see here. Then you also have we were over in Strawberry Point, Iowa, and it's a crazy story, actually. My friend Freddie and we went over to Strawberry Point because he had friends in Iowa. He grew up in Iowa, and we were going to go fishing. I don't know anything about fishing, so he's like, we're gonna stay at what's the name of the hotel out there? It's the Franklin Hotel. And he's like, let's go there. I bet they're going to have spirits. They're going to have ghosts there. You show me how to, he calls it ghost hunting. I refuse to do that. But I'll show you how to fish. This guy, I think he is a fish because he's walking, talking to me. He's walking towards a lake, nowhere near it. He casts and he gets the fish and he's pulling it back in from, it seemed like, 200 feet away. I was like, what are you doing? Unbelievable. So we get to the Franklin and word starts getting around because someone asks, I never do this sort of thing. Someone asks, like, so what are you all here for? And Freddie's like, we're going to do some ghost hunting here. So it starts spreading around the bar. And this woman across the bar, she's just like, you can't spend 5 minutes in my house without being freaked out. And I'm just like, I bet I could. And we just kind of went back and forth across the bar for about 20 minutes. And then we finally actually decided to talk to each other. And she, once we figured out that none of us in this group of people are serial killers, we went over to her house. I will admit it didn't scare me, but it was certainly some of the best evidence I've ever picked up. And she was great, and we got a lot of recordings and stuff. And so here is just one of them where it's someone says, we get the spirit box to say Freddie's name, and it plays 3 times. So here you go.
Here is named Freddie. Could you please say Freddie's name to validate that you are listening to us? You hear that?
I was gonna play that because I think there might be a swear in there actually. So I'm just going to we're gonna play it once. I'm gonna play it one more time, and I know where to stop it. There's also a little girl at the other end that said cool. I don't know if you heard that, but we're gonna play it one more time with my hand on the file here. Hold on.
Here is named Freddie. Could you please say Freddie's name to validate that you are listening to us? You hear that?
So that's cool.
Okay, so the cool wasn't from whoever was laughing. That
no.
Was okay.
That's spirit.
Right on.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Like
no pun intended.
I like that.
And one thing I should put on here, I don't know if it would translate well on the radio at all. Later that night, we were upstairs. We were using spirit box. It's very loud, and downstairs we start hearing furniture move. And so I shut off the box, and Freddie's like, and I said, I hear movement. And he's like, I hear movement. And this is all recorded. And, that whole night, that the woman who owns the house is the one laughing hysterically. I mean, she's a wonderful person, but a loudmouth. And so we start hearing the movement. The dogs downstairs are barking, and you can hear someone talking to them downstairs. And it freaks her out. And she's just like, the whole night, she's just like, rah, really loud and stuff. At that moment, she's just like, hello. No, just like, I don't blame you, but yeah, that's we've been back there about 4 times, and the last time wasn't great because something dark came out of the wall in the house.
Ooh.
And the guy who owns the house, he started getting really upset about it, and he starts like really like, I want to just kick your butt, and just really aggressive to the spirits. And my friend John just looks at him and says, you're going to regret that, because you just don't do that. Mm-hmm. About a week later, this guy reaches out to me. He goes, ever since you've been here, things went crazy, and it's been activity going crazy. You got to come out here and fix what you've done. And I said to him, do you remember what John said to you? He said that you're going to regret all of the antagonization that you just did. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. So come on, no.
There's a difference between putting your foot down because it's your space now, and a difference between antagonizing.
Totally. And I'm sorry, you just look like an idiot when you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
when you're provoking and you're shaking your fist to the air, like, come on, I just want to kick your butt, and
or it'll get you 18 seasons on the Travel Channel.
Well, I mean, there is someone has to start the behavior somewhere, right? And
you're right.
Here's a quick one from Four Paws. This is pretty self-explanatory.
Is there anybody in here by me right now? No?
Play it again.
Is there anybody in here by me right now? No?
I love that. No. No, I think there is. I think there is somebody there.
Or they're being really specific, like they're not by you, but adjacent.
Right, they're just there. Well, and then at Four Paws, let's see here. We asked the question, who turned on the flashlight?
Who turned on the flashlight? I don't know.
Play it again.
Who turned on the flashlight? I don't know.
I hope you're all enjoying this. We're going to go ahead, take our next break. When we come back, we're going to do the darker side of Spirit Box as well. Some of the less friendly responses that we got. Listener discretion is advised. No swearing, but still, some of it's pretty dark. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
In the heart of the Northeast, there lies a hidden beast, a dragon's lair at the crossroad, guarded by the maiden Mother Crone. A treasure trove of spells galore, discover incense, books, jewelry, and more. Just as the oracles foretold, this is where your mystery unfolds. As the shadows creep and the veil gets thin, do not fear what lies within. Magus Books is where your journey begins. Visit us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or online at magusbooks.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Twin Cities Pagan Pride is thrilled to host Pagonicon 2024, March 15th through the 17th at the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West Hotel. Come to Pagonicon to experience deep community where people gather to learn, socialize, and get inspired. Check out all our featured guests and list of activities at tcpaganpride.org and register now for this incredible conference. Pagonicon is a pagan conference offering workshops, panels, discussions, social space, music, a ball, vendors, and much more. Pagonicon is an educational and social venue for pagans, Wiccans, heathens, druids, people of other folk, craft, indigenous, and magical traditions. Pagonicon has a vendor room and third offering art gallery, which are both open to the public all weekend. Pagonicon is a safe place, not only to be yourself, but to meet other like-minded individuals. Register now. Check out Pagonicon's full weekend, day only, and special event rates. Go to tcpaganpride.org and click on Pagonicon to register and get more details.
And we're very excited, as you just heard the commercial for Pagonicon on Monday. We're going to have some of the guests of honor on the program talking about the convention. This is going to be a really fun experience. If you have not had the opportunity to go to Pagonicon, but you have a pagan leading and really want to experience the situation. And honestly, like we said, this is a safe place for you to do so. Please go check out tcpaganpride.org. This is going to be a lot of fun. And then also I want to say that tomorrow we're doing a replay on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. We're going to be replaying the episode with Anna Maria Manalo. We're talking about her book, The Night Visitants. This originally aired back in, I think, August of 2023, but it's a great book, and we got, it's a really, it is really quite the story, as Adam could attest to. That was kind of your first time doing the show where I think you're just like,
That was literally the first interview that I've been a part of, that what she was talking about in her book, because these are events that happen to actual people, really messed with me. Like I've jokingly said sleep with the lights on night. No, I legitimately slept with a light on that night.
And you were at the station by yourself.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's something else. And then also, folks, at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Myth or Mystery on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken Facebook page, where we take a look at videos of paranormal nature, and we decide, our panel of know-it-alls decide whether or not it's myth, mystery, or unknown. It's a fun show. We have a lot of fun doing it. So check us out at 9 and then stick around till 10 for, it's an older show tomorrow night, but it's well worth it. And tonight, Adam, how's the Spirit Box stuff going? Do you like what you're hearing so far?
I do. Again, I think I have an unfair advantage considering I'm wearing actually really nice headphones and listening to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are very clear recordings.
If you all like it, just let me know, because we'll do some more of these, and I don't mean tomorrow or something. Don't worry. we'll do more of them down the line. Why don't we? I want to do one more for Four Paws. There was a gentleman there by the name of George. And George, and I mean a spirit by the name of George. George used to live at the Four Paws before it was a restaurant. It was kind of a halfway house. It was had a lot of lodgers and stuff in there, and we wanted to bring through George. We knew that he was he was in the service, but we didn't know what he held, what rank he held. And so we wanted to reach out to him. This is kind of might be a hard one through radio, because I'm going to ask the question, George, what is your rank? And you can't hear me because the Spirit Box is too loud, but he says two things on there. And see if you can pick it up.
George, can you tell us your rank, please?
I'm going to play it one more time.
George, can you tell us your rank, please?
That one's a little bit harder. Sometimes people get it right away. Some people don't. Basically, it's George, can you tell us what rank, please? And he says, yeah, Sergeant.
Okay, it was the yeah I couldn't make out. Sergeant,
The yeah is a little bit. But once again, it's the same voice.
Mm-hmm.
is the same voice. So we play this at a teach out at the Four Paws back when it was open as a restaurant. And the manager there, he breaks into my presentation, which, you know, how dare he? But he breaks in. He's like, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, what's that? And he goes, we found George. We found records of George. I'm like, yeah. He goes, he's a sergeant.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
Now, have you ever wondered what Mary Todd Lincoln sounds like?
Other than, and never mind, because I'm blanking on the actress who played her in one of the Lincoln movies.
Sissy Spacek. No,
thank you.
I don't think it was.
Okay. Well, I was going to take your word for it. Because,
that was your first mistake, you know. You know.
Wait, you.
See, why am I doing this to people who only want to help? You know,
it's all right. What the movie I was referencing was Lincoln Dracula Hunter, but
Lincoln coal miner daughter. So yeah. So anyway, so one of the things I like to do is I like to try to specifically reach out to people who have passed, and I started to do this a while back. And what ended up happening was I wanted to see if I could get Lincoln through, as one does. That was that documentary I told you about. I think it's called like The Last Photo of Lincoln or something like that. That was on Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
This woman, she found this photo that's purportedly Lincoln dead in the bed at the B&B across the street from Ford Theater.
Right on.
And which was a big no-no if that's the case, because they didn't want any pictures of him in that state. And so I wanted to be like, well, why don't we ask the source? So before the Spirit Box session, I had my flashlight. And for those who don't know, if you set the flashlight a certain way, you can get Spirit to play along and answer it by turning it off and on. Some people can be like, well, that's going to be the rubber ring in it that expands and contracts because of the heat. But if it's going through, and if it's, you know, syncopated with what you're asking, there's something to that. So I said, President Lincoln, you know, you do some meditation to try to get in touch with him, or anybody really. And you're like, I'd like President Lincoln, I'd like you to talk on this device I'm holding in my hand when we go, and we're going to be in front of a lot of people virtually trying to explain this to him. Would you do this? And the flashlight turns on and it turns off. And I said, I'm going to point to this. And I pointed to the screen. I'm going to have a picture of you, and I want to know if this is you. And do you understand that? Goes on and it goes off. I said, I have one more question. I'd like to ask Mary Todd Lincoln a question as well. Do I have permission to do so? The flashlight goes on and off. And I mean, they're pretty defined with going on and off. They're very defined answers. So we start up the live, and I'm like, President Lincoln, and I put up the photo. I'm like, is this you? And you hear through the Spirit Box, yes, it is. And I just like, are you kidding me? And we had a lot of people in the chat, and it starts going crazy. Like, oh my God, you got Lincoln. Oh my God, you got, I mean, it just went crazy. It just started building and building and building. And I got starstruck, and I just like, so I'm just like, I'm going to ask Mary Todd Lincoln a question. And the question I wanted to ask her was simply, Mrs. Lincoln, when you were living, you spoke to the dead. Now that you're dead, do you speak to the living? You're going to hear me mess up this question because I'm literally starstruck. I can't believe we got him. And you're going to find out how exasperated a spirit can get when you're trying to fumble a question out. So take a listen to this.
Mrs. Lincoln, you spent your entire life reaching out to spirits. Do you talk to other people? Do you talk to other people as a spirit, to other living people?
Talk about what?
Talk about what?
That's pretty incredible.
Now, if I remember correctly, she was very much into the paranormal and spiritualism.
Yes, she was.
Before and after Abraham Lincoln's death.
Certainly throughout all of it. I think what people don't know, didn't realize for sure how much Lincoln actually was as well. because
he was supposed to have been like a lucid dreamer and an
Totally.
empath from everything I've read.
and he actually had a medium that he really liked that helped him make decisions for the Civil War.
Oh, right on.
So I want to
read
play
the same thing about Nancy Reagan.
except anyway. So I want to play this again. You're going to hear when I ask the first part of the question, you're going to hear a guy say, "I know." That's the voice we associate with Lincoln his first answer. So we believe we have Lincoln and Mary Todd Lincoln in this recording. Here you go.
Mrs. Lincoln, you spent your entire life reaching out to spirits. Do you talk to other people? Do you talk to other people as a spirit, to other living people?
Talk about what?
Talk about what?
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so cool. Now, can someone be like, how can you be so sure that's Mary Todd Lincoln? How can you be so sure that's Lincoln? I can't. I can't, but I believe it is. So buttons on your underwear, that's all I have to say about that. So.
Well, the fact that you also got the flashlights to interact right
Yeah.
away to prior to that recording even does lead some credence to whomever you were speaking to, either A, were the Lincolns, or B, were very committed to pretending that they were the Lincolns that night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here is a couple more, because we only have time for about two more. And because all my stories take 40 minutes and you have 2 seconds of audio, that's just kind of how it works. Here's one that was at the soap factory, not a dark one. We were down shooting our web series, and after we're done shooting, we were all hanging around each other. I had not an SB7 spirit box, but I had what's called a Shack Hack, which was one of the radios from the 90s that was augmented to be a spirit box. So I am down there with a group of people, and something dark weaves between us down in where the haunted basement was. And none of us are like, oh, this is dark and creepy, some demonic thing. It was like, I think that's a dog. I think it's a spirit of a dog. And so I asked the question, is somebody's dog here? And the response has always just blown me away. Here you go.
Is somebody's dog here?
I'm going to play it again.
Is somebody's dog here?
The response is, and I will fight you all to the death if you don't believe in me, that's my dog. Is somebody's dog here? That's my dog.
Is somebody's dog here?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Now, I don't know why it sounds like I'm on helium, but that's, whatever. Is somebody's dog here? What was that? It was me, but that wasn't me.
Your voice hadn't changed yet. You're
Hey, everybody, welcome to Ghostbox Radio. Let's see, what time do we have here? Okay, we have time for this. Let's get to the darker side of spirit box work. A place called Vliska, the Axe Murder House. First time I was there, we were not having a good time there. Things were not very pleasant to us, and there was something there that was being very difficult, very nasty. Just so you know, and there's going to be a name said here. We do not believe for a second it is who it purports to be. But you're going to hear a couple things going on here. We were all upstairs in the parents' room of the Vliska Axe Murder House, where 8 people were murdered by an axe there in 1912. And so we are all huddled in there, and I'm asking the question. Well, I'm just saying, I hear my name, and I said, I said, is someone say my name? The name being said, you'll hear my name. It's not from the spirit box, but it's not from anyone else around. Because I said, someone say my name, and everyone's like, nope. They shake their head, nope. The spirit box says, I did. And I said, you know my name. What's your name? And they give a name. Here you go.
Greg? What?
My name?
You said my name. What is your name?
kind of cuts off there a little bit. I'm going to play it one more time. It's because it cuts off. You're not going to really hear the name, which you don't need to hear it, but here you go.
Greg, one.
My name?
You said my name. What is your name?
The name that comes out starts with an S and ends with an N. And because StreamYard cuts it off, you can't hear it, but it's very good. So it's probably best that no one hears it because we don't need to hear it. But we know right away that that is not who it says. The spirits try to screw around with you quite a bit. So, Adam, I have a lot more, but we got to get going here, don't we?
Unfortunately, we do.
Folks, let me know. Send us notes. Send us, put in the comments, whatever. That if you want to hear any more Spirit Box recordings, we'll do so in the upcoming months. We got lots that we could do. And then, Adam, I'm going to see you on Friday, aren't I, with Casual Friday?
Yep, we will do this again Friday.
We'll do it again. We'll hear about Adam's vacation as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll go through Question of the Week as well. Everyone, thank you very much. And, Adam, we'll see you on Friday then, right?
Right on.
Everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you Friday. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Join me, Tom Hartman, where smart people get their news. The Tom